Comments provided by the FOMC members after the meeting of the Fed Reserve made it clear that the regulator will pause its monetary policy tightening. As a result, the US dollar dropped against all other currencies. What's more, concerns that the US banking crisis is far from its end have a negative influence on traders' interest in the greenback. Under the current conditions, it will be wise to look through the macroeconomic calendar to predict what events will shape the market sentiment early next week. In our video review, we will focus on the most important events of the upcoming week. The flow of important macroeconomic events will begin on Tuesday. Data from China is likely to discourage too optimistic analysts. Those who bet on a rapid recovery in the global economy thanks to China's economic revival now feel extremely disappointed. The fact is that activity indexes pointed to a decline in every sector of the Chinese economy. On Tuesday, May 9, the pessimism will be dependent by the Chinese trade balance data. According to the forecast, both exports and imports will show moderate growth, just fueling appetite for safer assets. Thus, the Australian dollar, which is the main indicator of risk sentiment during the Asian-Pacific trading, may drop against the dollar. Early next week, the macroeconomic calendar will not be rich in events. However, each report is of a primary importance. After the news about the largest export-oriented economy, traders will shift their attention to the issue of high inflation. On Wednesday, Germany will disclose its final consumer price index data for April. The figures are expected to meet the preliminary estimate, which showed a slowdown in the consumer price growth to 7.2%. The growth rate is still very high. It's likely to force the European Central Bank to continue monetary policy tightening. This in turn will bump up the euro. During the US trade, all eyes will be turned to the US inflation figures. Judging by the forecast, the situation could hardly be called positive. In March, inflation data turned out to be better than expected, and now analysts prefer to remain cautious. They suppose that inflation will remain at the previous level of 5% per annum. Against this backdrop, traders may start selling off the greenback. So how will going to be in the short term in financial markets? We will definitely tell you in our next news releases. Subscribe to the channel and follow news with us. See you soon.